Hi all. I thought about writing something, but now I decided to use this channel to say something about the situation we're in and what I think about it, because I write so much and it's rather time consuming. First of all, my name is Lieselotte. I'm a retired psychotherapist, was psychotherapist for 35 years, and also have some other education and training like Hawaiian shamanism, but basically I worked as a psychotherapist. I'm not a COVID denier, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just a concerned citizen who is watching what's going on, of course, since 1 year. And I can't say anything about the real medical situation we're in, health situation, but I can say I've listened to the broad spectrum from the totally mainstream media to the total conspiracy theorists at the beginning that I don't watch anymore. I just wanted to know what they say. But what I still do and did a lot is to watch people who are smeared as conspiracy theorists, who had an impeccable curriculum vitae and professional life on universities, until they decided to say something against the mainstream about COVID and the measures and all that's connected with it, and also medical expertise they have from their studies and from their professional life and research. And that I still do, and I also listen to people who are worried about the democratic situation we're in with war laws and emergency laws that are implemented in most countries, and where this is gonna lead us and if it will stop, and also about the vaccination that is not forced but is like forced on us by social exclusion, as it seems, and not being able to travel or go to cinema or the like without having this vaccination. I think everybody who wants to get this, totally fine with me, even all paid by taxpayers' money, but I don't want any force, be it from the front door or from the back door. That said, I want to address some specific thoughts I had lately, and mainly about why people who are normally scientifically interested and open and knew or know what science is about, namely a broad and open discussion, and there is no end point to it, and there is no final position, as we know. It's an always developing opinion and questioned and adapted. And what we now see is science that allows only one perspective, and everything and everyone who questions this is thrown out of the scientific community, and there are even business and career threats on people who dare to speak up according to their absolutely honest opinion to say something different. I read and watched a lot lately from Professor Emeritus Rainer Mausfeld, who is really unsuspicious about being right-wing. He is very, very left-leaning and questioning the capitalistic system and even more the neoliberal developments we can watch, and what I think we can even call it a neoliberal coup in the last year, and it began before. But from the background, and the front players are all the same, so it's hard to detect. And it's not the one global world takeover from one or the world government, as it was called. I don't think that is the case, but there are several very influential companies and global activities that are not in line with the laws of the countries they're working in, and they can avoid taxes, and they can avoid to be detected by legal demands of the countries. I'm sorry, my English is not that good. I do my best. However, there is something happening, and I think whether COVID was implemented or COVID is used, and the measures, I don't want to say anything about it. I don't know that. There are different perspectives on that. But what I see is that the measures, in my opinion, are very, very exaggerated and sold as there is no other possibility than doing it that way. And it's very, very much in favor and in the interest of these behind the curtain global interests and players, that to say at least. And I'm very interested why, as I said, people who are normally very rational and scientific and middle class, Bildungsbürgertum, educated citizens, who are denying that and who are totally in line with the so-called science we can observe now. And I think if we follow Rainer Mausfeld and the secret strategies that are used by these interest groups to implement what they want and to distract people, then I would say first it was by distracting people from opposing to these interests after the big financial crisis, by taking money from the middle class, who was interested or who was identified mostly by their possessions, like in the US, and the wannabe middle class. And now this is happening as well. And even here in Europe, where we weren't so much affected by that, we were affected, but not that much with our social system. And well, but now with the next step, I think we are losing not only money and the social position we had as a middle class, but we also lose basic um, our basic civil rights and the achievements of the Age of Enlightenment. But what we still can identify with and what is presented us as a morsel is that we are still scientific and we are identified with being scientific, and we are afraid to lose even this, to identify as educated people who are in line with what science says, this very, very, very blue in spiral dynamics expression, the very religious-like science we are confronted with now. But we at least can say we are educated people. We are still Bildungsbürgertum, as it's called in German, because we reject conspiracy theories, and we are still left-leaning because we reject right-wing conspiracy theories. And I think maybe that's an explanation why so many educated people reject to put that in danger as well, to lose even this identification. The last they leave us, so to speak, for keeping up our status. When you lose the money, when you lose the civil rights, not totally, but to a certain degree, you still can identify as this Bildungsbürger, being in accordance with the science. I don't think if this is a good idea or not, but I want to present it as a basis for discussion, because I think when the Bildungsbürgertum also doesn't speak up, there are people who dare that and who are not afraid to be smeared, but you have to have courage now. If they don't speak up, nobody can do it, because the elites or those who profit from it will not do it, and those who are busy with the mere survival issues of economic and physical survival, they can't do it. So this is what I wanted to share and want to put into discussion. I have to say something about being loyal in respect to health issues, but I won't do it now. I did it. I wrote about it already, but this is too much for now. I just want to leave it here and wish you a nice day, and hope many people are daring. I'm not rejecting what the mainstream says. I just want to have an open discussion. That's all. Thank you.